By now, you've all probably seen the headlines. People are leaving the U.S.
Number of U.S. expats in European countries is on the rise. Fox's Alex Hogan explains why an increasing number of Americans are leaving the U.S. behind.
But here's what no one is talking about. What does this exodus mean for the housing market that you're trying to sell in? By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to position your home to sell smart before the trend reshapes everything. After the 2024 election, Google searches for how to leave the US went off of the charts. New Zealand, a 7,600% spike. Germany, a 4,000% spike. Even the Netherlands, the land of rain and bikes, jumped 3,000%. And sure, every election cycle has a few dramatic tweets about moving to Canada. But this is different. This is retirees selling their forever homes. This is remote workers realizing, wait, why am I paying like $4,000 a month to hear highway noise? And this is younger homeowners thinking, if I sell now, I can actually afford a life somewhere else. So what does it mean if you're not actually leaving? It means the buyer pool is shifting. It means demand in your neighborhood might look very different very soon. And it means that if you are selling or you're thinking about it, you can't use 2019 logic anymore because you're not just selling a home. You're selling a reason to stay. But what happens when the buyers you're counting on disappear entirely? Let's talk about the group that's quietly vanishing from your buyer pool. They used to be a sure thing. Downsize, move south, maybe snag a second home in Florida. Classic. But now they're skipping Florida and going international. Places like Costa Rica, where they get mangoes, beach views, and change back. Or Portugal, where a social security check feels like a lottery win. And also places like Ecuador, where health insurance costs less than a Costco gas fill up. We're talking about retirees. They're not just chasing sunshine anymore. They're running from rising costs, insurance chaos, and the fear of outliving their savings. And here's the kicker, pay close attention, because when they leave, they're taking their buying power with them. So what happens to the buyer who would have loved your one-story ranch with the updated kitchen? They're not coming. They're now sipping espresso and Cuenca and not thinking about your listing, which is a huge paradigm shift. Your buyer isn't dreaming about retirement anymore. They are thinking lifestyle, logic, and long-term value. That means price like their value conscience. Market like they're starting fresh. Tell a story that speaks to now, not nostalgia. Because if you're still selling like it's 2016, you're going to feel it in your offers. And if you're thinking, well, maybe I'll just sell fast and get out of here too, that mindset, it's where most sellers slip up big time. If you're not sure how to pivot your marketing for today's buyer pool, I can help. All you got to do is reach out by clicking that link in the description and scheduling an appointment with me. I really need to say this so you understand. Let's say that you're ready to sell and you want to make your great escape to Portugal or Costa Rica or a tiny French village where bread is like 82 cents and no one knows what an HOA is. I love that for you. But here is where it goes sideways. Way too many sellers act like they've got to get a flight tomorrow, listing fast, pricing low, and skipping the prep. And buyers, they sense that instantly. Here's the psychology. When a buyer smells urgency, they assume that something is wrong. Why the rush? Is there hidden issues? Let's offer low because they might be desperate. And that urgency kills your leverage faster than you can say non-refundable deposit. Here's the smart move. Slow down. Even if your passport's burning a hole in your pocket, you have to reframe the story. We love this home, but it's time for our next chapter. We're trading snow shovels for sunshine and leaving this place in great shape. This home brought us peace. It can do the same for you because you're not selling square footage anymore. You're selling stability. You're selling simplicity and freedom, the exact things that buyers want right now. So don't rush, romanticize, because when your listing feels like the life that they want, you win their offer. But don't get too comfortable, because the next mistake that sellers make, it's just as costly. Yes, people are leaving the US, but it's not like half the country is leaving. And it's not this giant mass exodus. It's more about reshuffling. This is what's happening. High tax states, expensive metro areas, and places where $900K gets you 2 bedrooms and an existential crisis, those are emptying out. Meanwhile, the lower cost cities with space, with the sunshine and sanity, they're filling up fast. So if you're selling in one of the landing zones, you're not losing buyers. You're gaining new ones with fresh budgets and different expectations. But here is the kicker. They're coming from places where your home looks like a steal. So to like a Boston couple who just sold their condo for $800,000, your $550K home feels like a bargain and a lifestyle upgrade. That's buyer psychology in motion. Context changes everything. So your job, market your home to those buyers, relocators who are looking for peace, predictability, and a clean start. More space for less money, city access without city chaos. Finally, a house that doesn't come with buyer's remorse, because you're not just competing with the house down the street anymore. You're competing with a dream, and we're about to talk about how you can win. Let's be real. People aren't leaving the US because they just love paperwork and foreign tax codes. They're chasing something much deeper, and it's a slower pace and a different political climate. More nature, less noise, a lower cost of living, and that elusive thing called peace of mind. They want a simpler life, a better balance, a house that doesn't feel like a second full-time job. Now, here's the thing. That dream isn't just in Portugal or Costa Rica or a cabin in the Swiss Alps. It might be right here in your neighborhood, but only if you know how to sell it, because buyers aren't just buying a house anymore. They are buying a feeling. That is what it's like in 2025 and moving forward. And the feeling is called relief. Relief from overwhelm, relief from the big city chaos, and relief from every house on Zillow that looks like it needs 100K and a therapist. So this is where your competitive edge comes in. When you package your home like a lifestyle and not a listing, that's when you win. Private backyard, perfect for slow mornings. Work from your home without losing your mind. Affordable peace in a world that feels anything but. And here is the secret sauce. Please pay attention. The buyers who are staying, they're not just comparing your home to the one down the street. They're comparing it to the idea of a better life somewhere else. So if your home can deliver that feeling, the calm, the space, the we can breathe again moment, you're going to win. And you didn't even need to speak fluent Portuguese. Let's bring it all together, because if you understand why people are leaving, you'll know exactly how to sell to the ones that are still here. This is the big takeaway. This is it. This wave of people leaving the US, it's not just a trend, it's a market shift. And whether you're selling now or 6 months from now, the smartest move isn't to panic, it is to wait. It is to position your home in a way that speaks directly to the buyers who are still here, the ones looking for the peace of mind, and they're looking for the relief that we have already talked about, because they are out there. And if you know how to speak to them, you don't just sell your house, you win the market while everyone else is still chasing it. And if you don't want to keep making mistakes, or you have fear about making mistakes about selling your home, make sure that you watch this next video, which goes over all the beginner mistakes to avoid when selling your home. And again, if you need an agent, contact anywhere in the US, just make sure you click that link in the description and schedule an appointment with me.